ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣಪತಿ ಶಾರದಾ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಗುರು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಗುರುರ್ವಿಷ್ಣು ಗುರುದೇವೋ ಮಹೇಶ್ವರ ಗುರು ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರವೇ ನಮಃ. Welcome to all for the English translation of discourses of Swami Sri Brahma Chaithanya Sadguru Gondavalekar Maharaj. Today's topic is the flood of God's grace. When sowing only pure, unrotten seed is selected, devotion with some ulterior, mundane object in view is like rotten seed. Pure seed has to be carefully developed, evolved. One may begin by sowing available rotten seed. Similarly, one may start devotion with some mundane aim in view. As one proceeds, one may realize the importance of undertaking devotion for its own sake. God should be prayed for this purpose. After sowing, there should be opportune rain. This is not in our control, but God arranges for it. Now, if the field is hollow, water may accumulate there and must be drained, lest excess of it decay the roots. The excess water may be drained into the adjacent field. In all likelihood, in all likelihood, with advantage to it, to the adjacent field. To breach the bund and let the water to the needy corresponds, in the case of God's grace, to benefaction. With spiritual progress, the sadhaka often gets certain occult faculties. For instance, what he says comes true. He can make out what passes in another's mind, can go to another place unseen by others, and so on. At such times, he must avoid the temptation to use such faculties for selfish purposes. He has to be specially alert in this regard. If used at all, they must be employed only to relieve others' distress, never for any selfish end. It would obviously be wise not to base one's happiness on other persons or things or circumstances. This has to be learned by practice. However, the mind cannot remain vacant. It must be provided with some occupation. God is that occupation. Because God is eternal, complete in Himself, and blissful, these qualities automatically percolate into the mind that keeps contemplating on Him. One can only imagine how sweet life must be to a mind so soaked in Him. Have an abiding consciousness that you and all that exists belongs to you, belong to Him. Then life becomes such enjoyable fun. The grace of God will be experienced if Nama is chanted with a pure heart. A sadhaka should do his duty consciously and live happily, leaving everything else to God or to Sadguru. A thing comes or is lost as destined. Why should we then vainly feel miserable or joyful? When we know that everything belongs to God, we can leave everything to His care and be carefree, joyful. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಶಾರದೆ ದೇವಿ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ ಪುರವಾಸಿನಿ ತ್ವಾಮಹಂ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಯೇ ನಿತ್ಯಂ ವಿದ್ಯಾದಾನಂಚ ದೇಹಿಮೆ ಗುಡ್ ಬೈ